Hi guys, I'm going to try to finish the book here. This is chapter 16 of Shredderman, Attack of the Tiger. And the chapter is called Busted. My mom stood by my bed with her arms crossed. My dad sat in my desk chair studying me. He started to say something, but my mom put a hand up and said, "Let me, Stephen." I coughed. "Do you know why I called here?" Before I could answer, she said, "I called here because Mrs. Holler phoned me at work. She wanted to know why you were absent today." "Mrs. Holler did that when you were absent?" I had no idea. I said, "I'm sorry, Mom. I guess I should have called you, but I didn't want you to have to come home. I'm not throwing up or anything." She said you hadn't been at school all day. I shrugged. Dad leaned in a little and said, "So you came home during morning recess?" I looked from my mom to my dad and back again. Then I said through my nose, like I had a monster cold, "I'm sorry, okay? I should have told you." My dad said, "Nolan, look at me." I looked at him, but it was hard. "My question to you, son, is why didn't I see you when I came home at around 11 o'clock? Uh-oh. Where were you at 11 o'clock? My mouth opened and closed like a stupid fish. "No, I don't believe it," my mom cried. "Please tell me it isn't you." "Who isn't me?" I choked out. "The tagger." I sat straight up. "The tagger? You think I'm the tagger?" My mom was pacing all over my room, throwing her hands up in the air, crying. "The school called the parents of all the children who were absent today, trying to figure out who spray painted Dr. Voss's car." "It wasn't me, Mom. I swear it wasn't." The phone rang. "Then why can't you tell us where you were at 11 o'clock? Your father stopped by the house, got a soda and a snack, used the bathroom. He says your door was wide open. Did he just not see you?" "I don't think so, Nolan. You've been acting so strangely lately. Is this why?" "No! No, it's not!" I shouted. I guess I forgot to talk through my nose because all of a sudden her face squeezed together. "You're not sick at all, are you?" She pulled away from me and wailed, "Oh, Nolan!" How's he going to get out of this, you guys? I couldn't believe she thought I was a tagger. And maybe superheroes aren't supposed to cry, but this one did. And once I started, I couldn't seem to stop. My breathing got all mixed up, and pretty soon I had the stupid hiccups. We could hear the answering machine pick up. "You've reached Even Stevens. Please leave a message at the beep." Beep. Dad perked an ear as the voice said, "Stephen, this is Sarge." Dad got up and whispered, "I'll be right back." Mom sat on the edge of my bed and said, "Nolan, please talk to me. You've always been an honest child. Now please tell me the truth." I just buried my head under my pillow. How could they think I was the tagger? It was bad enough that they thought I couldn't do anything, but how could they think I was a villain? I was a good guy. I was about to choke to death on hiccups when I heard my dad saying, "Sarge says Shredderman's posted a movie clip. He says it exposes the tagger." "Oh no," my mom wailed. I said, "I'm not the tagger." Then I sat up and said it louder. "I'm not the tagger." Dad was already booting up my computer. Mom got up and stood behind him. I just sat there, hiccuping. When they saw the clip, my dad's jaw dropped. My mom gasped. "Ryan Voss? And he sprayed his own mother's car?" My dad leaned back and rubbed his chin. "Well, I'll be." They both turned to face me. So you're really not the tagger?" Mom asked. I scowled at her and hiccuped. "Of course not." "But Then where were you at 11 o'clock? Why did you leave school? Hick. Slowly my dad's forehead crept back. His jaw eased open. His eyes bulged. Hick. He scoured my desk and spotted my yearbook sticking out of my scanner. He yanked it out and saw Dr. Voss's face. You're? He was blinking like crazy at me. You're? He snatched up my digital camera and found the movie clip. Then he looked at my mother and whispered, Eve, our son is a superhero. What? Look. He showed her the clip. He's not the tagger. He's Shredderman. What? She said again, and now she was blinking like crazy. Shredderman, my dad said with a grin. Definitely the coolest superhero to hit this town. My mom covered her mouth. You built that site all by yourself? I nodded. But how? How did you know how to do all of this? She was back at the computer clicking around like mad. This is amazing. Look at this graphic. Honey, I program computers and I don't know how to do half of this stuff. She turned to face me. How did you? I shrugged. It's not hard. Ha, she laughed. Dad scooted way close to me. Nolan, you've got to tell me how you managed to get that clip of Ryan Voss tagging his mother's car. How in the world did you do that? So I told him all about it, every detail, clear through my getaway in the gardener's truck. And while my dad was grinning bigger and bigger, my mom's face was turning whiter and whiter. A little nervous about what happened. You jumped out up at Route 7? She gasped. Uh-huh. The hiccups were gone. That's miles away. You could have gotten lost or been kidnapped. What if you'd been hit by a car? What if... Mom, superheroes don't get lost or kidnapped. Well, if they do get kidnapped, they always find a way out of it, right? I'm fine. But you could have suffocated. I had air holes, a snorkel. I'm fine. And don't worry, I took a shower and washed my clothes. She checked me over. In the washer and dryer? No, I said, rolling my eyes, in the shower. In the shower? Dad said, He's kidding, Eve. You know, a joke. Yeah, I said, maybe someday I'll even figure out how to toast waffles. She looked at me, blinking away, then she threw her arms around me and started bawling. My baby! Mom! I rolled my eyes at Dad. He grinned and winked at me, so I hugged her back, and the truth is, I was glad they'd found out. Super glad. Chapter 17. Truth and justice prevail. Even though I went back to the beginning and told them everything, Mom and Dad still had questions the next morning. I didn't mind answering them, though. It was like we were all in a secret club together. I liked it. My dad covered for me with the school. He told Mrs. Haller that I'd been with him the whole time. The school didn't even seem to care. I guess they were too embarrassed that the town tagger was the principal's son. The story was all over the news. Channel 12 showed Ryan being stuffed in the back of Sarge's car. And the news lady tried to get Dr. Voss to say something, but she just ducked under her arm and ran away. My dad wrote a big piece on it, too. Said it would seem suspicious if he didn't. His headline was, Shredderman Saves Cedar Valley. I told him it sounded corny, but he did it anyway. Why not, he said. Not every town can boast its own superhero. But what if people try to find out who Shredderman is? Dad grinned. Didn't I tell you? That's my new assignment. He tisked and shook his head. And I have a hunch he's going to be one tough superhero to unmask. The next day, everyone was talking about what a jerk Ryan Voss was, and how it served him right that he was going to have to spend his weekends painting walls and cleaning gum off sidewalks. Everyone but Bubba. Bubba kept muttering about what a jerk Shredderman was and how someday he was going to get it. We'll see about that. We also found out that Dr. Voss is going to pay for a new mural for the green machine. Mr. Green says he probably won't have dolphins again, that it just wouldn't be the same. He told the class that he was thinking about trolls. Trolls? Miriam Whipple asked. Those ugly overgrown elves with sharp teeth and dirty fingernails? Friendly trolls, he told her, in a forest scene with ferns and trees and oversized mushrooms. Or maybe I'll paint the whole van dark blue and have a comet streaking across the sky. Cool, everyone said, so I think maybe he'll go with the comet. Mom and Dad were very interested in hearing about the van. They used to kind of say whenever I talked about Mr. Green, but now that they knew he was the bouncer, they really sat up and listened, especially since the four of us had a powwow about Shredderman and the site and what we would do to keep it secret. Mr. Green said, we have to keep a lid on it or I'll need to look for a new job. Why? I asked him. They can't fire you for being my sidekick. My dad said, that's right, you haven't done anything illegal or even wrong. Mr. Green shook his head. Dr. Voss was pretty fried over the way you exposed her son, he chuckled. And that little link to her, oh, she was fit to be tied. But I already took her phone number off the site Mom made me. Yeah, but before you did, she got calls from all over. I heard a woman from Australia called to scold her. From Australia? That was halfway around the world. Really? My mom said. Cool, my dad said. Mr. Green flexed an arm. Here's to truth. We all put our arms up and pumped. And justice. I went to bed that night feeling great. Shredderman's site counter was up to 10,000. 10,000 visitors. Sure, all I'd really done to the site was collar a bully and trap a tagger, but inside it felt bigger than that. Inside it felt like there was still more to do. Maybe the way I was searching for truth and justice had started out small, but I could feel it growing, spreading, from my little bedroom through my school and now my town. So maybe I can't fly through the air like Superman, but my ideas can fly across the web bigger than anything else. Spider-Man could make anything else even Spider-Man could make the World Wide Web. So, whatever's next, in the name of truth and justice, I'll be there. And that is the end of Shredderman 2, Attack of the Tiger. And happy birthday to you, Kenzie. Bye!